This video and the part of this project were not expected. A scissor lift over 20 feet in the air. How did we get here and why do we have to do this? Just one answer for that, the building inspector. See, my plan was to have the garage wall here, maybe have some studs a few feet higher to attach drywall to, which would then hold the insulation back above the living space. I had envisioned the trusses and roof all visible and open with kind of a boxed-in living space on this side. I feel I had seen offices or living spaces like this in videos I had watched. Well, the inspector came to check the framing as one of the required inspections and said the garage and living space need to be completely separate from floor to metal roof and sealed with intumescent caulk. Intumescent caulk? Yeah, I'd never heard of it before either. What could I have done to not end up in this situation? If you can build shorter, like I talked about in video number 4, you can just build the roof lower, ceiling lower, and garage doors lower for more finished space with everything drywalled. But our garage doors were already at 12 feet, and I knew I had wanted a high open garage area with lots of wall space for building shelves and hanging things on the wall, as well as the ability to fit in a boat or RV. So we decided to go straight up, but it wasn't easy. This added about a week to our plans to accomplish this task. I had figured the drywall for the entire house, got 12-foot sheets to have fewer seams, and got the thicker 4x8 drywall for the garage side to meet fire code. I had all the drywall delivered because it was cheaper to do that than to take so many trips with my trailer. The next step was to make the wall taller by making another wall on top of this one. I was lucky that there was a truss almost straight above my wall. Almost. The truss was just forward of this wall, so we still had a small angled ledge when finished. The contractor had nailed 2x4 runners along the tops of the truss beams to tie them all together, but I had to drywall straight up, so I had to cut the 2x4 runners to go straight through. I cut them at the previous truss and then flush with the one I was drywalling. I attach it back together in the end. The trusses have a lot of open space, so we needed to have something behind it, especially where the drywall had joints. We added 2x4s to have something for the drywall to attach to. I didn't worry about being 16 inches on center because this doesn't really need backing up this high. So we did it all at seams of 24 inches. I found it easiest to just mark where the cut should be by penciling it on the board rather than trying to figure out the angle. And it was easy to mark all the boards and then number them, cut them all, and then get them back up where they should be. Done and ready for drywall. We drywalled all of it, and it wasn't hard with the right tools. The drywall drill was especially worth it and didn't really cost much, used on eBay. I'm always going to use screws as opposed to drywall nails because nails may pop out if the building flexes with any movement or change in temperature. We started from the bottom, made sure the drywall started off the concrete by putting small 1/4-inch pieces of wood under them. The bottom sheets take the longest since you need to measure and cut out for the outlets. We used the handheld drywall saw for this. Once you get the bottom line done, it goes fast as you stagger sheets. Drywalling the top and safely operating the scissor lift made things slower. We also needed to cut out holes where drywall sheets would be coming together to accommodate for the wires and pipes that were already going through to the living area. After it was all up, we used a mudding paddle and drywall knives to finish up. I found the most helpful information at these 2 websites. Don't know who writes them and I have no ties to them, but they were just the most helpful for me. We painted a couple of coats of flat paint after light sanding. The next step was the intumescent caulk. It's more expensive than regular caulk and is red for identification. We had to use it to seal the side against the foil insulation, the top to seal the drywall to the metal roof, and seal every hole where wires or pipes went through. We even used enough to seal this bundle of wires that went through in one giant bundle. An exterior door would be sealing the doorway, so the last thing to seal is the bottom, which we did with a nylon roll, cut to length, glued to the wall, and sealed to the concrete with silicone caulk. That made the bottom end waterproof and we could spray in there if we ever needed. The inspector had gotten me a little paranoid, so anywhere I saw the slightest light on the inside of the building, I sprayed some foam seal to make it airtight. I probably wouldn't do that again because I feel the drywall, tape, mud, and paint probably do enough. Now back to the 2x4 runners I had cut. We finished this part of the project by attaching new 2x4s along the trusses, and I shot in nails through the top of the runner at about a 45-degree angle into the stud behind the drywall. The next step will be insulation, so we used our drywall lift in the living space to do the ceiling. Again, staggering joints and taking care to measure and cut holes where lights are and ceiling fans will go. Our lift was for 19 feet heights, and we sold it for just a bit less than the purchase price when done, making it cheaper than a rental.